We went to a Filipino
Transvestite.
transvestite karaoke bar.
Right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to A Conversation with Colin. I'm Greg, and this is my roommate, Colin. Now, sometimes Colin says crazy stuff. So every Tuesday and Thursday, I reach in my random topic pile, pull one out, toss it at him, and we talk it out for your amusement. If you like that, like the video. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Make sure you share it with your friends. Colin, are you ready?
Yes.
Today's topic of conversation is, how did you and Greg first meet, and what was it like? From @WickedGavel.
The first time Greg and I met was July 14th, 2007.
Okay. That checks out.
I think that's the exact date.
Okay.
It was a couple days before I started at IGN.
Right.
We went to a Filipino
Transvestite.
karaoke bar.
Right.
Called,
in South San Francisco.
Called Edna's Ichiban Library.
Edna's Ichiban Library, we got the best karaoke in the city.
It's awesome. So like you go to this place, they serve great food, great beer, and they have a trio of transvestites that will like bring you up to the stage, and they'll be your backup singer, and they like do all this.
They host it. They're the karaoke masters, is what they call it. So they come out, they host the whole thing, they do a little act, and then they call you up to come do your song, and then they stay on and they sing back up for you and help you out.
So the first night I ever met Greg was there.
And this is when I'd only been at IGN about 6-7 months, right? Well, you started in July, you said?
Yeah.
So right, well, not less than that even. And IGN had this obsession with Edna's Ichiban Library. I mean, Hillary and I lived right by it, so we found it and we wanted to go there all the time. So we started going there. I think it's only like our second time though. And so first off, I had remembered when, like the backstory, the prequel to you starting was that when I just started, I was just coming on. People liked me. I was making my way at IGN. But then they started, like one of the guys quit, Jason Allen. And so Mark Ryan came around one day and he was like, oh yeah, I'll probably end up offering it to Colin or whatever. And they were telling these stories about Colin. And Hillary was just like, I hate Colin. Do not hire Colin. He's such a douchebag. This Colin kid is the worst. And like, Hillary was like a sarcastic jerk a lot, but like this was serious. Like he did not like Colin. And I was like, I don't understand why. This guy's gonna be a complete asshole, blah, blah, blah. So then the first time I ever met you, you showed up at Edna's Ichiban Library and you were just a normal dude. You were in a ball cap. You were in your Yankees ball cap still. Yeah. Had all your tattoos and stuff. Mm-hmm. And do you remember what happened? We sang there, we drank, we hung out forever.
So a little backstory. So I started freelancing for IGN when I was 18. Mm-hmm. And when I was 19, I was still in college, and during a summer in between like my sophomore and junior year, I guess, at Northeastern, I came to IGN, lived at Chris Carl's, who's...
You lived on his floor, right?
Yeah, I slept on an air mattress on his floor for about a month and a half. Then I slept on Mark Ryan's floor with a pillow and a blanket for about a month. And I was an intern. And I had like a mohawk, and like I was loud and annoying and just happy to be there, and kind of like not real, like just kind of a kid still. Yeah. So that was kind of like how people remembered me. Now I worked really hard and like did a lot of great things, and that's why I was offered my job, obviously. But that's the other cool thing, is that like that job was offered to me. So like there wasn't like a huge to do in terms of like you apply and you do all these interviews and stuff. I was actually really honored by that, because my freelance work I think spoke for itself. And so I came, and I had done a lot of growing from 19 to 22, and so I came out and. We came to the restaurant, we had a good time, and then we went to Denny's.
We got drunk, and we ended up at the Denny's in the parking lot of Edna's Ichiban Library. And it was you, me, and Hillary again, and we were just drunk. And I remember telling you, I'm like, Hillary kept saying you were a douchebag, and they didn't like you, but you're really cool. And you just go, that's fair, though. That's fair. I was a douchebag. Yeah. And you went through your whole story of the mohawk and everything else to me. Yeah,
I was just, I don't think I was like nearly as bad as like Hillary lets on, and
Sure.
But like, I was just young and like excited, Yeah. And went to my first E3 that year, and that was the E3 that like Resident Evil 4 was shown, and a bunch of other cool stuff.
Right.
In 2004. So I was just excited to be there, and I did everything I had to do to stay. Like the only reason I even returned a little bit early before school even started again was I ran out of money, like I had to call my parents and be like, I need to come home, and like they had to pay for my plane ticket. So,
oh wow, that's fun.
They're like, you don't have any money? I'm like, I have like $50 to my name.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, it's time to leave. Several years later, I came back. Yeah, we had a great time. So we went there and kind of bonded or whatever. And then you and I kind of, I was doing my own thing on guides, and you were working on PlayStation at the time. And we just kind of slowly over the next, I'd say 6 months or so, grew our relationship over AIM and going to lunch and kind of just talking and hanging out. We weren't really in each other's...
I still have every AIM conversation we've ever sent each other. And like there's one that starts the whole like giant thread, and it's just blah blah blah, and then it's like it's you saying, I've made the decision we should hang out more. And I'm like, we should. Why don't we hang out more?
Yeah. So yeah, it's scary that you have everything I've ever said you want to name. It's horrifying. Actually.
It's my golden ticket.
I know. It's like, God, you could sig many people while you're with all this. But no, like so yeah. Then we started like it was really 2008 when we started to hang out a lot.
Right.
And then 2009 was when you and I like started to become like really good friends. I think it was on Podcast Beyond.
Yeah.
Started to drink together, and all those kinds of things, and yada yada yada.
Here we are.
I mean, it's not like the most
shows.
exciting story. I don't think it's just
No, but we have
because it was a slow burn,
Yeah, but it's one of those, our first San Francisco, we all have these different memories. Like, we're all friends through IGN or whatever, but then there's all these little different one-off stories. And my favorite one-off story is one you had to remind me of or whatever. But remember, we went to dinner, and I was with Katie at the time, and she was driving you home, but I was in the passenger seat, and you and I were blitzed. We had been drinking. I think we went to Pacheese, and then we were drinking or whatever. And like we rounded a corner, and I rolled down the window, and I screamed a Jane Silent Bob quote. Hey, there's two girls on the corner waiting for the bus, and I scream at them. I go, "Hey, ladies, you ever have your asshole eaten by a fat man in an overcoat?" And I remember like doing it, and I was like, "It'll be funny because we're gonna go so fast." And the next day, you said we were like crawling around the corner.
Yeah, like it was like this awkward turn where like you're like they were just like right there, like walking just as fast as the car was going. As you're like leaning out of the car, it was really funny. It's a wonder that you and Katie got divorced. It's a small wonder.
Thank you, Kevin Smith movies, for putting quotes in my head.
But yeah, no, and we it's funny how things start. Like how friendships start and grow, and yeah, a very modest kind of beginning. I would
humble
say,
beginnings.
Yeah, so.
Came a conversation with Colin. Thank you, WickedGavel. That was a nice trip down memory lane. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a topic, put it in the comments, send it to us on Twitter, make yourself a name on this show. Colin, thank you for your time. Everybody at home, like, subscribe, share, and until next Tuesday and or Thursday, have a conversational day.
The end credit sequence shows Wolverine and Storm.
Oh God, here we go.
In an earlier, like before they became X-Men, when Storm was a meteorologist in Memphis.